look, at the end of the day, all I wanted to do this entire game was.
How about them Cowboys?
Feels good. It feels good. So right now we're 6-1. Still some question marks with Dak Prescott going forward. I think maybe we feel a little bit more comfortable if we had to go another maybe game or two. I'd feel more comfortable even going next week with Cooper Rush to make sure Dak Prescott's 100%.
Exactly. After
Yeah.
I mean the Broncos are next, which is not
Broncos Falcons. So it's not like we don't got anything too scary coming up.
But
Broncos did just have a good game this week, but.
Well, I was actually going to say I was a little bit nervous about the Broncos, but the fact that Cooper has got his first game over with, and if they were going to have to dive in this entire week and prepare for Cooper to take the field instead of Dak, then I'd feel comfortable with that. I'd rather Dak sit out one more game and be a hundo. Because
it's an easier decision now that we've won this game and we're 6-1.
Yeah.
It would be a different story if we just lost today.
Yeah.
And now you're thinking, okay, the Eagles won today. We need to keep this lead in the NFC East. You'd feel a little bit more
cautious.
Inclined to get Dak back out. But now because we won, you kind of have that free. Like you don't want to lose next week, obviously, against the Broncos. But if we did lose next week against the Broncos, losing next week to the Broncos is a less shitty thing than having Dak come back and lose him for the rest of the year.
Well, and I think, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think like on the other side of the ball, on our defensive side, it was a pretty quiet game all over. Two things that stood out to me, though, looking at the stats now. Micah Parsons, 10 tackles and 2 assists.
He did have a good game.
Yeah, and Randy Gregory, a big fat sack.
Yeah, so Gregory had the one and only sack. He had a lot of pressure.
That's what we call a sack lunch.
Yeah, Randy Gregory. He fucking ate that fucking sack all day. So Randy Gregory got that one and only sack. Micah, we were kind of saying that he's kind of been hit or miss this last couple games, but today you could tell he actually had a great. He broke up a pretty nice play out to the flats, and then right after he almost had a pick, but missed it. Missed it.
Those 3 and outs all day long. We had them clinched on it.
So what we're gonna do this? We're gonna get some final thoughts on the game, and we're gonna hop off. We'll be back on Wednesday. So what do we got for final thoughts, Cowboys or America's team slag?
You dirty slag. Don't you dare try to do it.
Oh, my mouth smells like Cheetos. Okay, actually, next gen stats. The Cowboys had as low. This is my final thought. The Cowboys had as low as an 18% win probability, and then obviously they won the game. But it just goes to show, like, it was a very slow start. It was a nervous start. I was prepared to take the L and just see how things went. I feel like this is a free win. Like, we got a free victory out of it. So like you said, Ant, if Dak's not 100%, we repeat it and we bring out Cooper Rush.
Play with house money.
Yeah, because we lose. I was expecting I didn't want us to lose. I was expecting, okay, who cares? We lose. We have a nice lead on our division. So, but this was just great.
Yep. You're right, 100%. Ad, what do you got going on?
No, I'm the same boat as Alex. I think the fact that as soon as we heard Dak was out, I was already preparing myself mentally for the loss, which is a bad thing to say. But my final thoughts, I thought Cooper Rush, despite some of the very bad decisions he made on the field, I can't say it was completely his problem. There was a lot of bad, I think, offensive calls in situations where it should have been a run instead of a pass.
You're gonna call out the Dungeon Master like that?
You better believe I'm calling out fucking Kellen Moore right now, because I'm going to be a better DM than that motherfucker. Just joking, Kellen Moore. No, but I think Cooper Rush, if we have to go one more week with Cooper Rush, I don't feel as nervous as I was today's game. And it was nice to see Amari Cooper get those snaps as well. And all in all, I think if we just make sure next week we spend more time running than throwing the ball with Cooper Rush. If Dak is still sitting out, I think we're going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm going to carry this as pretty much the same thing as you guys are repeating. The only difference I'm going to say, if Cooper Rush is going, the nerves that he had for his first start, he's now proven to himself that he can play in the NFL and he can win in the NFL, which goes miles, right? Like getting that first start and that first win is huge for confidence. If anything, it's just they're going to be able to game plan around Cooper Rush even better. So if there's any doubt with Dak Prescott's leg at this point, it's got to be a sit him. And I didn't want them to really sit him today, but now, like we've just said, with Cooper Rush showing that he can win, and us kind of at 6-1 having a little bit of wiggle room to lose a game, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. It's like it's a no-brainer, and we're all on page with that. We're all stoked about the win. That Cooper to Cooper touchdown at the end was awesome. We'll be back Wednesday night to talk up the Cowboys versus the Broncos and get a little bit more second thoughts on tonight's game. But for the bandwagon boys, or whatever you want to call them, they look like rock concert fucking attendees in their outfits. And for your host, Anthbess, we out.
I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.